Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story this afternoon is a Sarasota County Sheriff's Sergeant and a deputy will not be held in contempt of court. This after a day-long trial for allegedly violating the judge's order during the trial of former Sheriff's Deputy Frank Bybee. During Bybee's trial, both Sergeant Christopher Felix and Deputy Chris Butler were called to testify. But the night before they took the stand, both men say they watched a video together that was recorded at the scene of Bybee's accuser, Marcia Soul's home, despite a court order to not discuss testimony with other witnesses. Both Felix and Butler were in court today to plead their cases of why they should not be held in contempt. Sergeant Felix and Deputy Butler also took the stand, admitting to watching that video, but pleading to the judge that they just wanted to refresh their memories before taking the stand.
I would just like to let you know, remember, that I've been in law enforcement for 31 years. My whole life has been involved in law enforcement. I would never do anything to disobey a direct order from you or try to influence anybody's testimony.
I just wanted to get the information what the victim said. That was my goal, because after reading my reports, I wanted to try to remember what she said and she told me.
Now again, both will not be held in contempt of court. And then later this afternoon at 1:30, Frank Bybee will be sentenced. He was convicted of kidnapping and exploiting the elderly and faces the possibility of life in prison. 3 men are busted in a Sarasota Marine store theft. Deputies say the men stole more than $800 in rods and reels from West Marine in Sarasota. This surveillance video from a nearby parking lot captures the trio preparing for the crime and then driving off minutes later with the stolen merchandise. An off-duty sheriff's deputy spotted the van on I-75 and pulled it over. The men are now charged with grand theft. A federal jury has begun weighing the case against 3 officers accused of excessively beating a man in Boynton Beach and then hiding information about the alleged use of force in their reports. Reporter Chuck Weber has more on the deliberations.
Current Boynton Beach officer Michael Brown in the shades, former officer Justin Harris and former officer Ronald Ryan, all on trial charged with excessively beating a man and then omitting information about their use of force in their reports. The case stems from video captured from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's helicopter deployed during pursuit of a car by Boynton Beach police in 2014. In closing arguments, prosecutors told jurors how the 3 officers repeatedly kicked and punched the car's front seat passenger, Jeffrey Braswell, while he was seatbelted, with hands up or in handcuffs on the ground. But in their closings, the defense said police feared a fellow officer had been hit and killed by the car they were pursuing. That officer did survive, and the police had seen thrown from the fleeing car a white object, presumed to be drugs. The defense said reasonable officers would fear such suspects were armed, and they had to act assuming worst-case scenarios. Shortly after jurors began deliberating the case against the 3 officers, their supervisor, Sergeant Philip Antico, here on the left, went on trial. He's charged with the alleged cover-up.
That was Chuck Weber reporting. The officers face up to 30 and 40 years in prison if convicted as charged. The driver of the fleeing car, Byron Harris, ended up receiving 3.5-year prison term. Time to get a check now on our Thursday weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. We had a little bit of fog around this morning, but
thick in places.
Yeah, I guess so.
Other places didn't see hardly anything at all. So, you know, I think this is probably the last morning that we're going to have a fog issue. We're going to get a little breezy tomorrow morning and maybe some drier air working its way in. We have a front just about sitting over us right now, heading south. So that'll change things up a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, this should be a nice weekend, actually. I'm looking forward to it. The Case Key webcam showed that bank of fog just sitting offshore. That was one of the places where we had fog that was thick this morning in Gulf waters. And it kind of lingered for a little while after the sun rose. Most places, the fog cleared very quickly after the sun rose. No rain in the forecast for today, despite we had a little lingering clouds. And the air aloft still very cool and dry, and you can see that by those high cirrus clouds that we have up there, and also the contrails from jet aircraft. We have a little bit of cloud cover as well, high, thin clouds mostly, sinking southwards, kind of all part of that frontal boundary and trough low pressure. That is all going to bring us some changes over the next 24 hours. Now, there's a lot of rainfall with this system, but it's to the north, and it's moving away from us. You'll notice that the trail end of that system out in Gulf waters is really not producing much in the way of precip, and I don't think that we're going to see much around here as the front moves through. Now today will be another warm one. We'll come in with temperatures that are above average at about 84 or so, but then as we head into the next day or two, changes headed our way. Scott, we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, John, thank you. Happening today, Fruitville Elementary School honoring veterans this morning at a special event called Courage and Coffee. ABC 7's Ray Collins is just back from there and joins us with the story. Ray?
Scott, teachers are making sure that the students are aware of our veterans' sacrifices, and today that began with a special song. Listen. Students brought in their parents, grandparents, or older friends who had served in the military. The kids gave the vets homemade flags, sang songs, and made sure the vets felt special. Veterans Day is Saturday. We talked to a soldier and a student about the importance of today's event.
I was very grateful for the kids bringing us in here that they understand what we did and what we've been through, and it's good to know that they're teaching the kids.
So why do you think veterans are special people?
Well, they all defend our country and they fight for us, so I just think they really help our country altogether.
So Veterans Day is always on the 11th day of the 11th month to mark the end of major hostilities in World War I. It's spread to celebrate all veterans after World War II. It used to be called Armistice Day, that is until 1954. Some trivia there for you, Scott.
Good history. All right. Thank you, Ray. Several schools across Sarasota County are hosting events honoring our veterans on their campuses and the community. Tonight, Sarasota High School will host a concert with its Singing Sailors chorus. It's free to the public and it starts at 7. Tomorrow, the Imagine School at Northport Young Marines will celebrate the 241st birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps. And then on Veterans Day, several schools will march in the annual Veterans Day Parade, which starts at 10 o'clock in downtown Sarasota. Florida State Parks offering some free admission for all families and visitors on Veterans Day to honor all those who have served and are currently serving our country. Florida State Parks offer year-round discounts on annual entrance passes to those who currently serve or have served. Veterans with service-related disabilities and surviving spouses of members of the military who have fallen in combat are also eligible for that discount. A local middle school will be buying thousands of dollars worth of school supplies thanks to a grant from Office Depot. W.D. Sugg Middle School in Bradenton receiving a $10,000 grant from Office Depot. That money is thanks to the local store, which won a competition, and part of their prize was to donate the money to a school of their choice. The school's principal says they'll spend all of that grant money to spruce up the classrooms with better technology.
In choosing some school that's a Title I school, location in the community, that all kind of played into how we came to that decision.
The purpose of the money is for technology, and as we know that we live in a world of 21st century students and that we need to engage them in the technology.
First thing Principal McDonald says the school will buy is smart walls, which are interactive projection boards that students can use to learn with. Pretty cool. Still to come in your Suncoast News this afternoon, a look at one of the most common disorders Americans are facing these days. We're learning about dementia in day 4 of our Undercover Illness series. And in today's Health Smart, signs you shouldn't ignore that could point to heart disease.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? you'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
It's very similar to yesterday, actually. We've got a few more high-level clouds in the forecast because of a front sinking southward through the area, even as we speak. We've got 80-degree air temperature. We have a dew point of 69. Dew point actually kind of falling just a little bit. A wind out of the west at about 7, indicating that we are in that frontal boundary zone. Now, a frontal boundary is not a solid line where you cross it and everything changes. It's a zone of transition, and we are solidly in that now. We'll see over the next couple hours that wind switch even more to the northwest, and that drier air continue to filter in. Across the region, temperatures pretty much where we'd expect them to be. 82 degrees in Arcadia, Wauchula, Mayaca City. Northport coming in at 81, 80 in Venice, 79 in Inglewood, 76 in Longboat Key, 83 in Bradenton, and Parrish coming in at 82. Like I say, I think our temperatures today running a little above average. We'll probably top out around 84 or so in Sarasota. Tomorrow, I think the temperature that we have hit right now, 80 degrees, well, pretty much going to be our high temperature for the day. And the dew points will be even lower. As I mentioned, we're in the upper 60s right now, when yesterday at this hour we were in the upper 60s to near 70. I think we'll probably be in the 50s tomorrow. Upper 50s. So it'll be a delightfully refreshing breeze out of the northwest for the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening. The frontal boundary itself sinking southward lets high pressure build in behind it. Little trough of low pressure exits, taking the rain chances with it. So we don't get much rain chance out of this frontal boundary, even though sometimes at this time of year with a frontal passage, you might get a thunderstorm or two. Any showers or possibly even an isolated thunderstorm would occur over on the other coast, on the east coast. We won't have that issue here. High pressure will then bring us some very pretty conditions. Now, morning fog. So after midnight tonight, it's possible that we could get some patchy fog, but the winds are going to be picking up, so that is not going to last. When you wake up tomorrow morning, there's not going to be a fog issue around. We'll have a sunny afternoon today. We'll have a sunny afternoon tomorrow and the day after, I think. Warmer than average temperatures today, but that goes away tomorrow. So the forecast looks like this. Dry conditions across the state. We've got a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters. If you're going to be boating today, be aware that, one, if you're going far offshore, you could pick up a shower, but two, those winds are going to pick up as we head into the afternoon. Still a lot of rain shower activity to the north of us. Those rain showers all part of a little piece of upper level energy that's exiting off the Atlantic coast, taking the rain shower likelihood with it. And then back to the west, another storm system moving onshore, producing a lot of coastal rain up and down the west coast. Really almost the entire length, stretching from northern Washington state all the way down through mid-California. So pretty impressive rainfall pattern there. Thunderstorm outlook for us today, really, it just really doesn't exist. In fact, we'll be lucky to see a drop of drizzle over the next 5 days. The little packet of energy races off the Atlantic coast. The frontal boundary itself sinks south. Now, maybe over the weekend, by the time we get to Sunday, we might see a couple of showers kind of working their way a little bit closer to us. And perhaps on Sunday, we can factor in a 20% chance of rain. Mostly because in addition to this breeze causing some of the showers to try and move across the state, we'll also get a frontal boundary through here. So the combination of the two might help to bring us a shower or two on Sunday. Southwest wind turning to the northwest with a 10 to 15 knot flow. It'll get a little bit breezy out there. Moderate chop later in the day, boaters. And the forecast calls for a very nice Saturday. And then Sunday, the front comes through with that 20% chance of rain, which lingers into Monday. But then check it out. That second front lowers our temperatures even a little more. And we have daytime highs in the upper 70s, Scott.
That sounds about perfect. All right, John, thank you. Our Undercover Illness series continues tonight with a look at dementia. It's a disorder that slowly takes away the victim's memory and changes their personality. But what causes the memory loss, and is it preventable? Doctors are shedding some new insight.
It's important to intervene early. If you do that, there is a chance to make changes that can help either to delay or to stave off the progression.
ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick will have more on this undercover illness. Tonight at 6, you'll hear from a Sarasota woman who lost her grandfather to dementia, learn what it is like to be a caregiver, and discover what dementia does to the brain. In today's Health Watch, we're talking about heart health. Kim Hutcherson explains why the death rate for heart disease is dropping and signs you should not ignore.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women. But according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the number of heart disease deaths in the U.S. is dropping. One doctor attributes lower heart disease deaths to better treatments and access to health care, as well as improving diets and exercise. People who are most at risk for heart disease include those who suffer from diabetes, people who are overweight, people who maintain a poor diet with a lack of physical activity, and those who consume excessive alcohol. One of the most common symptoms of heart disease is a heart attack. It's important to recognize the early warning signs of a heart attack, like discomfort in the chest, arm, and shoulders, nausea, vomiting, lightheadedness, and shortness of breath. The CDC says every year about 735,000 Americans have heart attacks. A recent study published in the journal Circulation said nearly half of the people studied experienced so-called silent heart attacks and didn't even realize it. To make sure your heart is in the best health, make sure you're getting regular checkups. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Time now to head over to the kitchen where our friend Chef Justin Sells joins us from Cask and Ale in downtown Sarasota. Justin, thanks for being with us today. What are you going to fix for us today?
Today we're going to pretend we're in the depths of autumn and do a roasted beet tartare.
Aha. We'll be right back with you in the kitchen.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Player Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
The father of the man accused of gunning down worshipers Sunday at a Texas church has broken his silence. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Texas with more from the family.
After Sunday's deadly church attack, Sutherland Springs, Texas will never be the same.
No attack, no act of violence will ever break our spirit or diminish the faith of the American people.
Last night, Vice President Mike Pence stood side by side with residents of this small town.
We come together as one nation and one people to support our fellow Americans in their hour of need.
Now the focus is turning to the victims as memorials in town are growing. Flowers, notes, and crosses with the names of all 26 lives lost. Many cut way too short. 9 of the 26 were children under the age of 16. A funeral home is donating caskets for all of the victims. Charlene Ewell's 16-year-old daughter Haley was caught in the gunfire.
Part of me hopes that they're wrong and it's not her. And maybe she's just in the hospital.
As hundreds of bullets were fired off in this tiny Baptist church, Sandy Ward says her daughter-in-law, Joanne, shielded her children's bodies with her own.
She said her mom covered Rylan and Brooke and Emily with her body.
Her sacrifice saved 2 of her children's lives, but 2 others were killed. The Holcomb family lost 8 family members spanning 3 generations, including pregnant mom Crystal Marie Holcomb and her unborn child. That child's name, Carlin Bright Billy Bob Holcomb. On Facebook, her father, John, explains the name, includes his wife's pick for a boy, a girl, and the nickname the kids gave the new baby. Outside this church, there are now 26 crosses, each with the name of a victim. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
All right, let's change gears a little bit now and get over to the kitchen and talk about some great food with Chef Justin Sells from Cask and Ale, and John is there with more. John?
Indeed, Cask and Ale, one of the newest restaurants on the Strip, Main Street in downtown Sarasota, and boy, has it become popular.
It's great.
I'll tell you, it is wall to wall on the weekends. I mean, you just can't even touch it. It's amazing. And one of the things that you, I guess, are going to be doing here pretty soon is introducing a new happy hour menu.
That's right, and I want to show you one of the offerings that we have going onto the menu, which is going to be our vegetarian offering of a roasted beet tartare, kind of like a play on a steak tartare, but using roasted beets instead.
Nice. Okay. How do we do that?
So we just take the beets and we cut them off at the root end, and we roast them on kosher salt in the oven for about an hour. Obviously, you want to test them because all beets are of a different size. You know,
so when you cook a beet, what's your preference? Do you peel it first, or do you peel it later?
All I really do is I just cut that root end off, and then I just lay them down in a pan layered with kosher salt. What that salt does is it removes kind of like that earthy part that a lot of people don't like about beets and accentuates the sweetness.
Oh, no kidding. I'll try that.
So I'm just using a mandolin just to kind of get a little bit of consistency, and then just chop it up just like you would, just like a traditional steak tartare. You know, little pieces of beef, but going a little bit more of a nice, healthier version, I suppose. A little less cholesterol.
Roasted beets. Yeah, exactly. Oh, nice.
So we're just gonna chop those up. That's probably good for where we're at. You can obviously, with you have the knife, you're in control. You can control what texture you want. I'm good with just a little bit of bite like that.
Do you prefer to use just red beets or golden beets too? I mean,
that is really dealer's choice. Whatever you're feeling in the mood for. I like the look of the beets because it still looks like the steak.
Tartare.
Exactly. And then I'm just gonna dress it with a little bit of a dill vinaigrette. It has some garlic, some shallots in there. Obviously, it's already fairly well seasoned. So I don't need to add any salt or pepper this time, but just give it a good coating, almost like you would a salad. And I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to start setting up this ring mold. Again, you're going to start to see it really turn into a tartare.
Oh, nice.
And then traditionally, the steak tartare is topped with an egg yolk. What we're going to do is, instead of that egg yolk, we're going to take this horseradish sour cream that I enhanced with a little bit of ají amarillo, which is a Peruvian chili. So it's going to give you a little bit of warmth. It's going to give you a little bit of kick, kind of go against that earthiness of the beets. We're going to add a little bit of julienne radishes, which is going to give you a little bit of crunch.
Oh, wow.
Also, you're going to want a little bit of that something to kind of cool off that heat that the ají amarillo kind of brought to the plate.
Gotcha, right.
Get there right there. And then we're going to just kind of gild the lily here with a little bit of fresh dill to kind of do a little flavor reinforcement of that dill vinaigrette that got tossed with the beets.
I have to tell you, this sounds like a beautiful dish to accompany some of those high-level drinks you got down
Oh,
there.
and it's one of those things where it's going to lay down to whatever you're drinking. You know, the whiskey will be able to speak for itself. These flavors aren't going to completely blow you out. And we're just going to finish it with just a little bit of grilled baguette, and then voila.
Ah, that is
Enjoy.
fantastic.
So
and when is this going to debut on your menu?
So we are, all I can give you is very soon. So this is a teaser. So we're going to have a lot of cocktails and food offerings all around the $5 mark. So
that's very good.
So it's
and
gonna
your
be a lot of
happy
fun.
hour will be running from when to when?
It'll be Monday through Friday, 4 to 7, and we're working on doing a little aftermarket teaser, Afternoon Delight, 3 to 5.
Oh, nice.
On Saturdays.
On Saturdays,
Yeah,
following the
absolutely.
farmers market. There you
Absolutely.
go.
So definitely worth checking out. And again, just want to reiterate too, it's vegetarian. We can make it vegan by leaving off the horseradish sour cream. So a lot of different options, a lot of healthy options.
It smells fantastic. I can't wait to tuck into this. The recipe will be on our website, mysuncoast.com. You click on the dining link page, and it'll take you right there. Chef Justin's video instructions will be there, as well as information about the restaurant. Chef, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, John.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. President Trump surprising many by saying he does not blame China for taking advantage of the U.S. in reference to our trade imbalances. ABC's Karen Travers is in Beijing with more on what the president had to say to China's leader.
Good afternoon. President Trump spoke a lot today about his great chemistry and great relationship with China's President Xi, all part of a diplomatic strategy to flatter Xi, to get him to use his leverage to help resolve the North Korean nuclear crisis. An elaborate welcome ceremony for President Trump outside Beijing's Great Hall of the People. Cannons, military bands, and some very excited children. Later, China's President Xi and his wife hosting the President and First Lady for a fancy state dinner. The room decorated in gold from floor to ceiling. The leaders were shown a video with a timeline of their relationship, from their first meeting at the President's Club in Florida to today in Beijing. Before the ceremonial events, the two leaders got down to business. Several thorny issues on their agenda. China was a favorite target for Mr. Trump during the presidential campaign.
We can't continue to allow China to rape our country. They're getting away with murder.
Sitting next to President Xi in Beijing, a major change in tone.
I don't blame China. After all, who can blame a country for being able to take advantage of another country for the benefit of its citizens? I give China great credit.
The American president in China blaming his predecessors for allowing the trade deficit to balloon. The other big issue, the nuclear standoff with North Korea. President Trump using these meetings with President Xi to push for a greater commitment from China. President Trump called on President Xi to use China's significant influence as North Korea's biggest economic partner. President Trump said if Xi works hard on it, it will happen. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Beijing.
Also from China, 3 American college basketball players are in trouble after they were arrested for allegedly shoplifting at a luxury store. ESPN reporting freshmen Jalen Hill, Cody Riley, and LeAngelo Ball from the UCLA basketball team are accused of stealing sunglasses from a Louis Vuitton store near their hotel. Chinese officials will not confirm the incident, but UCLA and the State Department are aware and monitoring the situation. UCLA is scheduled to open its season in Shanghai on Saturday. The team's head coach says the 3 will not be playing in that game. Former White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is reportedly worried about his son, who will get wrapped up in the Robert Mueller Russia investigation. At issue here, the business activities and lobbying efforts of Michael Flynn and Michael Flynn Jr., who served as his father's top aide. Their business dealings included at least one trip to Moscow that included a black-tie dinner with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Flynn served as President Trump's national security advisor, but resigned after just 1 month on the job. A late-night house fire in Venice leaves a man with some serious burns. Firefighters from several agencies responded and put the fire out on Bonita Drive. This fire could be seen from I-75. The power in the area was shut down for a while for safety reasons while that fire was being put out. Sarasota County Emergency Services reports a man in his 50s was flown to a trauma center for treatment. The State Fire Marshal's office is now investigating what caused this fire. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies are still looking for the suspect involved in a road rage shooting yesterday. This all happened early yesterday afternoon along US 301 just south of University Parkway. Investigators say 2 drivers were arguing when one fired a gun at the other. The injured person is recovering with non-life-threatening injuries. Florida regulators say 23 nursing homes are not following new rules put in place after nursing home patients died in South Florida following Hurricane Irma. Governor Rick Scott's administration pushed through emergency rules that require these nursing homes to have generators capable of providing backup power for at least 4 days. Now, there's back and forth between agencies that are pushing back against the ruling and those who say the nursing homes must comply regardless. The Agency for Healthcare Administration has said nursing homes must have the generators by next week or face harsh fines. FEMA is going to start transporting Hurricane Maria survivors from the island to the U.S. mainland. Priority will be given to 3,000 people still living in shelters in Puerto Rico. Many evacuees may end up in New York or here in Florida. Puerto Rico's governor selected those 2 states which have large Puerto Rican populations. FEMA, though, has not flown such a huge number of people out of a disaster zone before, and this operation will likely take a while to set up, so it's unclear when flights will begin. The Manatee YMCA is collecting unopened medicine to send to hurricane victims in Cuba. They'll be accepting donations until next Tuesday, and they're working closely with the YMCA in Cuba to distribute the medicine where it's needed most. The group is looking for things like ibuprofen, aspirin, multivitamins, antibiotics, and much more. You can drop off donations to the Welcome Center at any Manatee County YMCA branch. All of those items are really hard to find in Cuba at any time, much less after a hurricane affected that island. More on our weather now, John, and a foggy start, but I haven't been outside in a while. It's probably getting better, right?
It's nice, yeah.
It's gone.
Dew points are, absolutely. Dew points are down a little bit, a little teeny bit.
Oh,
You
nice.
can already feel. You'll feel it a lot tomorrow morning, I think.
Good,
And
good.
I think the fog problem for tomorrow is it's gone, and we're not going to be worried about that.
Good deal.
Yeah, lovely weather outside. Van was a webcam put into motion shows a little of that cloudiness that started off the morning as the fog rose, and now giving way to some sunshine. And now just a few high-level clouds kind of riding across the region. Those high-level clouds, part of the whole frontal boundary that's sinking southward across the region. You can see the brightest, whitest clouds located in the Carolinas right now. That's part of the energy of this whole system kind of lifting off to the north and to the east. The trailing front that's over us is basically very diffuse and ill-defined and just not all that strong, but it will lower dew points. Check it out. Pensacola 55, the dew point there, 57 degrees or 67 degrees in Tallahassee. Sarasota, though, coming in at 69 and Key West at 71. So it will lower our dew points. It's not going to be a dramatic blast of extremely dry Arctic air, but it will be a refreshing little change, I think, by tomorrow. Daytime high today, probably about 84. Tomorrow's daytime high about 80, and it will definitely feel a little drier. We'll talk all about the forecast coming up. Just a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. A Florida woman is accused of paying less than $4 for electronics worth nearly $2,000. And no, Walmart wasn't just giving her a great deal. The Vero Beach woman is accused of switching the price tags from those from clearance items. She's charged with felony grand theft and shoplifting. The company that provides a way to resolve traffic tickets online says the Florida Bar and a company called Ticket Clinic are conspiring to shut it down. And now Ticked, which is spelled T-I-K-D, is filing a lawsuit seeking damages of more than $11 million. According to the CEO of Ticked, both the Florida Bar and Ticket Clinic have falsely accused Ticked lawyers of practicing law without a license. Now they want a federal judge to rule the operations are legal. A new lawsuit contends Governor Rick Scott is failing to comply with a state law that requires him to fully disclose his finances. A Tallahassee attorney filing a lawsuit against the governor asking a judge to force him to reveal more information. Relying on stock records, the lawsuit alleges Scott has broken the law because his financial disclosures do not include all of his holdings. Scott's latest filings listed as his net worth at nearly $149 million. Well, today in the spotlight, Sarasota Orchestra conductor Anu Tali, who recently stunned Suncoast music lovers with a big announcement. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more.
The news burned across the Suncoast. Conductor Anu Tali is leaving the Sarasota Orchestra. Not so fast, says Anu.
I'm not leaving now. I'm leaving in the end of the season 18-19, so this is a whole 2 seasons to go.
She says she always knew this time would come.
When I came here first, then I said that I'm going to take the position. I'm going to be here as long as I feel that we can have the growth that we need to have.
And she's very proud of the growth she sees.
I think the growth has been enormous, and that really is very important for me. And when I move forward, I don't want to say leave, because I really never leave you, because it's my part of my heart, or if not the full heart, will always remain in Sarasota.
And what's next for Anu?
The life of a conductor is in a suitcase, so that has not changed even when I'm here. So I think just keep doing what I do best, conducting concerts of different orchestras, and see where it takes me.
Of course, Anu is from Anstonia and conducts all over the world. And now she brings her 2.5-year-old son along.
He's been such a good trooper and such a good companion.
She says he loves Sarasota, and so does she.
I've never felt any more special than here. I just really, they have welcomed me throughout the first day to today, and hopefully a couple of more years, and I felt like a superstar.
She says she has a great relationship with the orchestra.
It is like a triangle, you know. I give my ideas to orchestra and they bounce it back to the audience.
And she feels a special bond with the musicians.
They will always be the friends in my heart, and they know it.
But she says life must move on.
I will never really leave you. I'll always be back. And we should not be afraid of changes, because life has a tendency of changing for the better. So bearing that in mind, let's just enjoy it and let's live it for the fullest, and let's start now.
So let's enjoy every moment we have left with Untitled. You can see her conducting the Sarasota Orchestra Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Van Wezel. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Sarasota will add another sister city next year. The city will celebrate the addition of Rapperswil-Jona, Switzerland, as an official sister city of Sarasota. That Swiss city is known for its medieval castles, abbeys, and is nestled in a picturesque valley in the Alps. Rapperswil-Jona joins Vladimir, Russia, Tel Mond, Israel, among many others, as official sister cities of Sarasota. The Sister Cities Association organization hopes these connections will help connect similar cities and then allow for productive exchange of ideas. Sarasota's newest downtown hotel celebrating its grand opening last night. The Westin Sarasota hosting a party. Guests had a chance to enjoy food and music in the massive ballroom and the views from the 19th floor rooftop lounge and restaurant. 175 people work at that hotel, and many believe it will give the area a nice economic boost.
It's the service levels that we provide, and we've been so fortunate to have some of Sarasota's finest come join our team. And we couldn't be more delighted to have them on our team here.
It brings new hotel rooms to the area, which means bringing more people that are going to be staying and spending time and going out to restaurants and attractions in the area. So it's a great opportunity for the destination.
It took more than 3 years to build the Westin Sarasota and officially opened its doors to guests back at the end of July. Still to come in your Suncoast News. In today's Consumer News, we'll tell you the newest way to get food delivered right to your door. Stay with us.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
80-degree air temperature, a lot of sunshine out there, some high-level clouds as well, high-level cirrus clouds kind of streaming by quickly as well. Dew point coming in at 69, west wind at about 7. We are on our way to a beautiful afternoon. Daytime highs in Sarasota will top out at about 84. Be a little warmer in inland areas, but honestly, We're only going to add a couple more degrees onto the temperature. 84 maybe in Sarasota, maybe not quite as much, because we're in that zone of transition right now, watching our wind shift from a southwesterly direction actually to a more northwesterly direction as we head into the afternoon. And that will be kind of a little bit of a cooling wind for us. It's a frontal boundary that's sinking southward. Now, it's not a strong frontal boundary, that's true. It's not going to plummet our temperatures, but it will lower them a little bit by tomorrow, and it will certainly bring in some drier air as well. We also have a second front that will be moving through here by the weekend. That front has some really cooler air back behind it, but it's not going to sink southward. It's not going to dive southward. It's going to kind of move a little bit further to the east. Temperatures here are in the teens tonight in some parts of the northern tier. For us, the front comes through, the wind shift around, high pressure builds in, and we end up with a pretty darn nice day yesterday. Actually, it'll end up being a pretty typical day for us, with temperatures hovering around the 80-degree mark, which is about where we should be. And dry, a little bit drier, weather moving in. Will be a little bit breezy to start off the morning tomorrow, and some people may find that just a little bit chilly. We could get some winds tomorrow morning up around 10-15 miles per hour or better. Lower humidity, it'll become breezy overnight, and then warm today, I think, with a cooler tomorrow. So not much in the way of a rain chance across the state. We've got a few scattered showers out in Gulf waters, and if you're a boater today, you will perhaps run into an isolated shower out in the Gulf, but you have to go pretty far out, and they're few and far between. Lots of rain showers in the deep south as this little pocket of energy kind of moves right off the mid-Atlantic coastline. Got some snow showers up in Michigan, and then back to the west, we've got a lot of rain shower activity along the coastline as a frontal boundary moves in there. Area of low pressure exits the coast. The frontal boundary sinks southward, winds shift. Now, the winds may shift in such a way that over the weekend we start to moisten things up pretty quickly, and maybe Saturday we get an isolated shower, mostly in inland areas. I don't think we'll see a lot along the coastline on Saturday. On Sunday we might, though, as that second front moves through. Rita, still around. It's post-tropical now, though. We'll continue to watch that storm system as it basically eventually just becomes absorbed and I think fades away, but it still could bring some storminess to areas of Ireland and maybe Scotland. Yeah, it won't be like Ophelia was, though. It won't produce strong gusty winds that leads to numerous power outages in Ireland, but it could bring some rainfall there if you have Ireland interests. We are looking at some quiet conditions across our area right now. We'll look for a daytime high, as I mentioned, that tops out around 84 with a few fair weather clouds. Saturday looks pretty nice for those celebrations that will be taking place on Saturday, or remembrances, honorariums. We're looking at Sunday, a chance at a rain shower or two. And then as that frontal boundary sinks south and moves through, some beautiful weather to start off next work week. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Uber has officially launched an Uber Eats app and website in Sarasota. The coverage area includes downtown Sarasota, Gulfgate, Lakewood Ranch, Siesta Key, St. Armands, and many more areas. Customers will have access to menus from more than 50 restaurants, including Duval's Fresh Local Seafood, J-Pan, Madison's, and many, many others. Delivery is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nordstrom is kicking its renowned customer service up a notch this holiday season by providing curbside delivery. The upscale department store will offer its shoppers the option of picking up their orders 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, beginning December 16th and then continuing until the morning of Christmas Eve. The perk is the latest attempt by a traditional department store to head off losing more sales to online retailers. Walmart is hoping to tempt shoppers with some online deals that will begin before Black Friday. Some offers will begin at midnight online on Thanksgiving. Stores will be open all day on the holiday with Black Friday deals beginning at 6 p.m. Walmart is also adding a color-coded map of store departments to its circulars, and it hopes will make it easier to find items. Many retailers are looking to find the right balance between online and in-store deals as shoppers look to take advantage of both of them. After breaking up nearly 2 decades ago, Panera and Au Bon Pain are getting back together. Yesterday, Panera announced that it's buying back the cafe chain it sold back in 1999. Panera's founder and CEO says this deal will allow the company to grow in hospitals, universities, and urban centers. Panera, a fast casual cafe and bakery, has 2,050 locations in the U.S. and Canada. Au Bon Pain has about 300 locations worldwide. Former Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer was given one final job for Yahoo, getting grilled by Congress. She testified before a Senate Commerce Committee yesterday about a security breach that compromised 3 billion user accounts. It was the single largest breach in history. In her testimony, Mayer apologized to every one of Yahoo's users. She said it's still unknown who was behind the breach.
To this day, we, as I understand it, still have not been able to identify the intrusion that led to that theft.
Mayer left Yahoo when its acquisition by Verizon closed in June. She walked away from the company with nearly $260 million at the time in stock and severance. The data breach hearing also featured the current and former CEOs of Equifax. And remember, for updates on developing stories or any other national and local breaking news, you have to download our updated version of our app. iPhone users have to go to the App Store and then re-download the app by searching for WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News this afternoon, Grey's Anatomy celebrating a big milestone tonight. I'll tell you what's so special about tonight's episode. Stay with us.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Major milestone tonight for Grey's Anatomy. The ABC medical drama, which premiered way back in 2005, will air its 300th episode tonight. Only a few other scripted primetime shows currently on the air have made it to 300 episodes, including NCIS, Law & Order SVU, and The Simpsons. Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon will star in an Apple original series. Apple has ordered 2 seasons of a drama about the world of network morning television. The pair will star in it and serve as executive producers. The announcement of the still untitled series comes just months after the Witherspoon-produced Big Little Lies picked up 8 Emmy Awards for HBO. Kevin Spacey is getting pulled off another project, one that's already finished. He'll be removed from a Ridley Scott film called All the Money in the World. The scenes in which Spacey appears will now be replaced with newly shot footage of actor Christopher Plummer, which I'm sure he'll do a great job. I mean, he's a
fantastic.
Yeah.
Apparently, it only took him a week to film his piece in that movie. So
he's that good.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Spacey. It only took a week to shoot Spacey, so it'll be easy to replace it.
To replace it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock for more news and weather.
Take the trolley to Siesta Beach for the Crystal Classic Sand Sculpting Festival, November 10th through 13th. See master sand sculptors create works of art. It's family fun with hands-on kids activities, sand sculpting lessons, music, food, a party tent, and more. Visit SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.